Rachel here. I'm a holistic dietitian and a nutrition coach, and I'm super excited. I'm here with...
Yeah, I'm Michael Katz here at the Mad Fit Studio. We just wanted to talk to you a little bit about today about how we do our consultations, how we start somebody up if we're doing the program, whether it's for fitness, for nutrition. We bring them in and we have this technology here. This is the Inbody. Rachel's going to describe a little bit about what that does for us and how that helps drive some of our assessments.
Yeah, so what this is, so you may be familiar with the bathroom scale. The scale obviously takes your body weight, but the issue with body weight is that it does not tell us how much of your weight is muscle, how much of it is fat, how much of it is water weight. Your body composition is made up of more than just body fat, more than just water weight. So what this machine does is it not only takes your total weight, but it measures your body composition. So when we start an individual off, this can give us a really great baseline of their starting point as far as where they're starting with their muscle, their body fat, and then we can use this to measure body composition progress at different points of their journey. So that's a little bit about how this works. This is one of the more advanced body composition machines, and we're going to show you how it works.
Yeah, such a great tool because, like Rachel said, you can really see a baseline of where somebody's starting and where they're going in their journey. You know, everybody knows the frustration of, I've been doing this for so long and the scale's really not moving. It's going up, it's going down, but I'm really not sure what kind of progress I'm making. This gives us some actual progress indicators of exactly where you are. Even if you're staying at the same weight, we can see if you're making progress. You know, how many times have you heard, somebody say, "Oh, I'm the same weight. I don't understand. I've been working out. I've been, dieting or doing lifestyle changes and my nutrition, and my clothes fit better, but the scale's not moving." Well, this allows us to show the actual progress of what is actually happening in the body. Are we increasing muscle? Are we decreasing fat? And this allows us to dive a little bit more deep into what's exactly going on there, and really shows you what kind of progress you're making throughout different programs.
Yeah, much more comprehensive. And I know I've had clients that let's say they go down in body weight. Well, when we take their body composition test, I've had clients where it'll show that their muscle mass went down and their body fat went up, which is not what we want for typically fitness goals, body composition goals. If there's going to be a weight that's changing, we want to see muscle go up. And I've had clients where maybe they lose weight, their total weight goes down, but their body fat goes down as well, and their muscle, I think I might have just messed that up.
Yeah, you said it in reverse, but everybody understands what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that in crash dieting, right?
Yeah.
People aren't really doing much for their body, but they are, either starving themselves or under eating or, not getting enough nutrition, vitamins and minerals that they really need in their body, and they're just doing one of these fad diets or whatever, and they do see some drop in weight, but not really in the way that we really want to see.
Right, exactly. So, should we demo this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's pop your shoes off.
I'm going to be the test subject.
And socks as well. And obviously, we're going to give certain guidelines to people before they come in and they hop on something like this. We're going to tell them how recently they could have eaten, how recently they could have been hydrated. I would offer if somebody needed to go to the restroom before. What other protocols do you put in place before you put somebody on?
So to prepare for the body composition test, what we always recommend is that you want to make sure that you fast at least 3 hours. So I usually say like 3 to 4 hours to fast before doing this test. So that way food is not in the stomach, which is actually, that can kind of throw off measurements. But what we do is we send out a protocol for how to prepare for the test. But that's one of the things that you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. And one other thing that I want to bring up is just like you go on the scale when you go in the morning and you're consistent about doing it in the morning, same thing for a situation like this. If you have an after appointment with Rachel or myself and you want to do a follow-up appointment, you also want to do one afternoon appointment around the same time and around the same conditions, so that way there's consistency and repeatability there. Make sure we can get as accurate as possible on those results. So what I'm going to have her do is I'm just going to have you step onto the scale and put your heel onto the heel area.
The one other thing I want to mention real quick, we do sanitize this before and after each appointment.
Yes.
So if this was already sanitized, like to put that out there. So, okay.
Yep. So I'm going to have you just have your arms by your side. I'm not going to have you grab the handles just yet. I'm just going to have you line your heels right up onto the machine. Yep, perfect. Your feet are right there. And I'm just calculating the weight right now. It's not going through any of the detailed analysis. It's just doing the weight. And now what it's going to do is ask for her ID number. So why don't you just pick a 4-digit number that you know you'll remember.
Pretty basic.
Perfect. All right, and what is your age?
33.
Okay. There we go. And your height?
5'0.7".
Okay, we're just gonna go 5'1" there
Okay.
for today. And all right, so what we're gonna have to do now here is I'm gonna have her put her thumbs on the electrodes as well. I'm gonna ask you to straighten your elbows and stand up nice and tall. All right, breathe naturally and try to stay as still as possible. All right, it's begun analyzing, so try to keep your normal breath. Stay nice and still until it reaches 100%, and then I still want you to stay there until it prints out the full report.
And this is only about 30 seconds, so it's pretty
It's
quick.
already
Quick
3/4 of the
test.
way done. All right, even though you heard the bell, I'm just going to have you stand still just for a moment until we hear that printer come on there. All right, you can step down, you can put on your socks and your shoes. See, quick and painless, that's all it really takes. About 45 seconds, not really long at all. And it gives us so much detailed information in that short period of time.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do a quick kind of close up on what you would get when you come in and get this analysis. And Rachel, why don't you talk us through some of the things that are gonna be on this Inbody report?
Yeah, so this is your comprehensive results sheet that shows us a few different charts. So the first one, we have the total weight. And this is being broken up into 3 different components. We have total body water, typically 50 to 70% of a person's total weight. So we're a lot of water. Dry lean mass, which is going to include muscle mass, skeleton, pretty much everything else besides water, and body fat. So that's the breakdown, kind of general breakdown of that total weight. Now, the second chart, this is the analysis. This is the really cool part because this shows us in what range do you fall into for weight, skeletal muscle mass, and body fat mass. So for my sheet, we see that I am in the lower normal section. So that shaded area is like the normal range. For muscle mass, we want people typically to be in the normal, actually the upper normal, and even into the over range is fine because having a lot of muscle mass does not put somebody at a risk for chronic illness. So for me, I'm in the lower normal, so I need to work on my muscle. A great goal for me would be to get that up. Body fat mass, also in the lower normal, which is fine. For body fat mass, we typically want people to be in the normal section, but if they're over, that can be fine too, because I'll show you why in our next chart. Here we have BMI, and then we have percent body fat. This number is, I think, one of the most valuable numbers here, percent body fat, because even if somebody's in the over section for body fat, if their percent body fat is in the normal section, that's fine. That's at least, again, this just is kind of dependent on the individual. But yeah, for percent body fat for women between 18 and 29 would be like the ideal range. Other than that, we have this breakdown, this segmental lean analysis, which is showing how much lean body weight are in the different quadrants of the body. So typically these are not even, because if you're right-handed, typically your right side's going to be a little bit stronger. So that shows us that. So what's really cool is if you are, let's say, gaining muscle, in my case, something I would really want, we can look down in this section and compare them to the next test and actually see where did you gain your muscle mass. So that's pretty cool.
This is something that I use a lot, for people that have gone through various injuries. I work with a lot of injury clients, and I'll see if they have like a lower extremity injury on the right hand side. I'll be able to see the differential between their muscle mass on their right and their left side, and I'll be able to work on that with them directly and be able to get them back to their general health and fitness. And I'll be able to physically track how that's going. I'll be able to add muscle directly to that area. I'll work on that leg, and we can kind of actually track to see, what our progress is, which is really, really cool. So not just a tool for, dietary and nutritional analysis, but also really good for physical fitness and getting personal training knowledge as well. Something I wanted to bring up on the sheet as well, on the right-hand side, if all of the stuff that Rachel kind of discussed isn't, making sense to you, and you just kind of want to get down to, what does this all mean for me? The Inbody does a really good job in that lower right-hand corner of really showing you, based off all the information that you just went over, what does this really mean, and what really should I be working on? Should I be adding, muscle mass? Should I be losing body fat? Should I be doing a little bit of both? And it'll actually give you a recommendation there on the lower right-hand side. Sometimes that's something that, Rachel and I will go with. Sometimes that's something that we might deviate a little bit from, but it gives us a good baseline, something that we can really start with to kind of figure out what it is that we want to go with our goals. And we have that conversation, with the client, see if that kind of aligns with what their vision is and what they're looking to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really valuable tool and a great way to measure progress, along with several other things that we get into with our clients as well.
Mm-hmm. One thing that we haven't addressed yet, Rachel, is this lower right-hand corner, which I think is very important. The basal metabolic rate. Why don't you talk to the audience a little bit? Tell them what that means and how that's important.
Basal metabolic rate pretty much is just the amount of calories that you burn in a state of rest. So that number, BMR, actually, this machine also calculates. That number will change if you have a change in muscle mass. So if you go up in muscle mass, we'll see that go up. If you go down in muscle mass, metabolic rate tends to go down with it because muscle burns more calories. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Gives us a really good baseline to show exactly, how many calories that your body really requires at minimum at rest. So it's very, very valuable piece of information, a really good place to start with a program, and a really good number for us to have.
Right.
So one thing that I kind of wanted to bring up, we've been talking about testing and retesting. Rachel and I are going to be doing a challenge starting February 1st. This is going to be included as part of the challenge. We're going to be doing multiple tests. We want at the beginning to get the baseline to understand exactly how we can personalize each person's individual program to fit their needs. Figure out, do you need to add muscle? Do you need to lose fat? Do you need to do a little bit of both to be able to achieve the other one? All right, so that gives us a really good baseline to start. And then how can we track our progress, not just through the scale, but actually seeing that body fat percentage go down, seeing those muscle numbers go up, and that way you can actually see the physical changes that are going on in your body.
Right. So with our program, we're using this, but you're also getting so much one-to-one guidance and customization, because remember, you're an individual. So we're not here to give you a cookie cutter program. This is really great if you're looking for that one-to-one guidance, a lot of accountability, and a lot of direction that's all customized to you as far as the nutrition piece, the exercise piece, the fitness piece. Combine those two together, and that is super, super powerful. This is going to be a 60-day program. So this is also great if you're looking to really come back strong. That's the name of our program, and make some really amazing progress in the beginning of this year. And get set up for a healthy lifestyle as well, so you can maintain your progress.
Absolutely. Yeah, like you were saying, everything's been so crazy, in 2020. We really want to start 2021 fresh with everybody and give them an opportunity to really improve, their life through health and wellness. Not just what they're eating, not just how much they're lifting, but their whole overall experience. We want to address mental, health. We want to make sure that everyone's doing good stress management. It's really an all, integral program. all-inclusive program. So if you're interested in finding out more, you can go sign up at the website Pro Lifestyle Nutrition. There's a special link on there for the Comeback Strong Challenge. Just fill it out. We'll hop on a call with you. We'll discuss, make sure that this is something that's right for you, and figure out if you want to go forward on figuring out a program together. So I think that's a really good way, if you're looking to make a change, that you can do so now.
Yep, sounds good. So any questions, or if you'd like to learn more, like Michael said, you can go to the prolifestylenutrition.com website, or just reach out to either of us directly.
And this is not just an in-person program either. So if you are in another state, if you're following along from somewhere, from afar, we are going to have live fitness workshops as well as live nutrition workshops as well. So don't feel like that you can't take a part of this. Anybody can be a part of this. We want to help as many people as possible. To a point, we are going to cut it off at a certain number of people, because we want to make sure that we can really give a lot of individualized attention and give you the amount of, that you deserve. So keep that in mind. We will be closing at a certain point. So.
Yep. So thank you for watching, and great job, Mike.
We're gonna go sanitize now.
All right.